everybody. Welcome to Chelsea Groton Bank's Facebook video. Today we are going to be speaking with Bill Mundell. He is our digital banking channel manager, and we're going to be speaking about the fraud and identity theft scams that you might be seeing around online and on your phone and things like that. Hi, Bill.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me, Maria.
No problem. So, we hear a lot about fraud and identity theft all the time, but what are some new things that we're seeing here at the bank?
Sure. So one thing that we actually sent a recent update, as many might have received, is a recent debit card scam that we had in which some bad actors actually pretended to be Chelsea Groton Bank and was even able to what's called spoof our phone number. So it looks like it's coming from Chelsea Groton, and then prompted them through several questions and obtained several pieces of information to make a bad transaction there. So that's the most recent. Some other ones that we've seen really across the industry, as well as Chelsea Groton Bank, COVID scams, so COVID relief scams, stimulus payment scams, utility companies, right? So such as your local, utility providers, individuals pretending to be them in order to obtain payment, as well as hostage scams. And this one's actually particularly scary, in which someone will receive a phone call and a loved one, apparently has been taken hostage, and they've talked them and coerced them through payment, only to find out that it's just a scam and their loved one is safe, thankfully.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. And these are some things that we've seen recently, but scams have been around for a long time. Is there anything going around that's been a while that we're still seeing happening?
Sure. Unfortunately, that list is quite long. Scams are really prevalent, to your point, and it really depends on the situation. So several that we've seen really for long term is like work from home scams. So you'll be contacted from an individual, or perhaps you'll reach out via solicitation for a work from home type situation. And in that, they offer to pay X amount of dollars, usually something that is too good to be true, right? So that's obviously one of the red flags there. And additional ones, pet purchases, right? So something we've seen quite a bit, where this specialty, whether it's a puppy or a kitten or whatever the animal might be, online based only. And then they make sure that the payment's paid up front, only to disappear once that payment is received. A lot on social media, romance scams, military scams, pretending to endear one or be a military member overseas, looking for a way to get home, right? IRS and FBI, so a lot of that, where they'll be pretending to be some type of government agency and demanding payment, whether you're back on taxes or whatever the situation might be. And then last but not least, computer security, right? So you'll get a phone call and state that you have a virus on your computer, or you'll get a pop-up telling you to contact a phone number for remediation to help resolve that issue. And in all of those, the bad actors are trying to get you to pay as soon as possible, and really in some unusual means, which we'll talk about in just a minute.
Yeah. So, and you mentioned red flags, and no matter what type of fraud it is, what should people be looking for to help them identify a scam?
Sure. So there's really three main things to look for in any situation that could help you identify that this is a red flag, in addition to really a general sense of urgency. So first is giving out any sensitive information whatsoever, whether that is social security number, address information, your debit card information, whether it's the card number or the PIN. They'll pretend to need your PIN for verification for some reason, right? Online banking credentials, once again, should never be given out either, whether that is your user ID or your password, or you should never be coerced into resetting your password and providing that for any reason. Here at Chelsea Groton Bank, we do not need that information. We have other ways to verify you, so we won't be asking you for your passwords or your PIN numbers. Second, really accepting any type of payment, whether that is a digital payment, whether that is a check payment, and then the request to send money back, right? So whether it's a work from home scam or whether it's a lottery or sweepstakes, we'll send you X amount of dollars as long as you send us back, typically around 80% of whatever that amount is. And then you get to keep the rest for your involvement, for your work. Unfortunately, that is money laundering, and it's something that we highly discourage. So any type of situation where you're told that you'll receive a payment, but you need to send part of it back is a huge red flag that this is a scam. And then lastly, purchasing gift cards. So we've seen that a lot. And as I mentioned with the computer malware situation, or even some of the other ones, you'll be asked to purchase gift cards, whether that is to a retailer, whether that is Apple or some other type of merchant that's very popular and easy to move that money around in, or like Western Union, right? So purchasing something, moving it quickly, outside of normal channels, right? I mean, most creditable companies, if you're working with them, will take your credit card, right? If there really is an issue.
Okay, that is very helpful. And so what do we do here at Chelsea to protect our customers?
Sure. So we have several resources available on our website. We actually have monthly newsletters that come out that really talk to a lot of these things, and as well as new and evolving situations that we're seeing. So definitely be on the lookout, leverage those resources as much as possible to help educate and stay up to date on that. Chelsea Groton Bank system have several protection mechanisms in place, whether it's on the debit card side, our online or mobile banking side, and other various systems. I can't go into a great amount of detail there, but we have quite a few protections in place. Now, unfortunately, they're not perfect, and that's why really everyone needs to consider themselves, that first line of defense by not providing any of these information pieces that we've discussed.
Gotcha. And I know that when people oftentimes get upset when a staff member at a bank might insist upon putting a hold on a check, but that really is for our customers' protection in the long run to make sure that it clears before they use the funds.
Absolutely correct. And in some of these situations where you would be provided a check, likely that check is going to come back, and it's going to be unfortunately deducted from the account, and then that individual may be on the hook for that money.
Right. And so what can people do to protect themselves? So say they're not banking with Chelsea, what should people be doing to make sure to protect themselves?
So first of all, educate, right? As I've said previously, we have quite a few resources on our site, but also the Federal Trade Commission has many resources available for free. You can go to ftc.gov for that. That's actually quite a few resources we leverage here as well, from many of these scams to online banking recommendations, security tips, etc. So make sure that you're educating yourself on what's going on and what to expect, and then how to combat these, right? How to respond to any of these types of inquiries. Second of all is be skeptical, right? So you receive a phone call that you don't expect, or an email that you don't expect. There's that sense of urgency that we've discussed, or some other type of situation that just is out of the normal. So be skeptical, question it, whether that's a social media post or article or the phone call, verify, right? So verify is that third piece. So after you're skeptical, verify. If you get a phone call from someone claiming to be, whether it's Chelsea Groton Bank, the FBI, the IRS, etc., question that and then verify that. So hang up with that individual and then call back using a good known phone number. Whether you pull that from that individual's website, that organization's website, or some other means that you're familiar with. So make sure you research, you be skeptical, and then you verify.
Great. Thank you so much for talking with us today. This is very helpful, and I hope will help people keep a good eye on things that might be coming out.
Great. Well, thank you again for having me.
All right. Have an awesome day, everybody. Bye-bye.